Alright, so this video is basically the anti-vibe marketer's guide to using AI. Because right now I think that there are two types of people. The first type is basically like a pigeon, just smashing the keyboard going generate, generate, generate. And then they wonder why everything that they produce looks like generic AI slop. The second type actually knows how to use AI as leverage. Basically like a second employee for their brand or company. They know how to give it context, how to build systems around it, and make it do real work for them. And the difference between those two people are huge. Because if you can understand how to use AI properly in your business, you can produce 10 times more content, help your company grow faster, or even build your own marketing agency way quicker than before. So in this video, I want to show you the biggest lessons I've learned so far with using AI in marketing and content. Some of them came from working with over 20 different clients in tech and AI, and some came from watching way too many AI workflow videos. And some came from mistakes that I made using AI trying to build things that completely failed. So let's get into it. So here's the first big thing I realized. Most marketers are using ChatGPT completely wrong. They treat it like a magic brain, something that replaces thinking. But that's not what these models are. At the end of the day, LLMs are basically just advanced guessing machines. They look at patterns and try to predict what the next word should be. The job as a human is to make sure that those guesses are better guesses. And the way to do that is through context. So that brings me to lesson 1, which is context over prompts. People spend a lot of time talking about prompts, but they're probably the least interesting part in all of this. The real power comes from context. Things like your brand voice, examples of good content, frameworks, your audience insights, and past campaigns that you can feed into these AI models so that they can understand your business better. The more context that you give it, the better the AI performs. That's why the companies that are actually getting value from AI aren't just prompting ChatGPT or Claude. They're building entire systems around it. They connect it to their data, their workflows, their processes. Which brings me to something else that changed the way that I thought about how to use AI. The biggest thing for me was when I realized that AI is more powerful when you treat it like a system. For example, instead of saying, write me a blog post, a better workflow might look like this. First, the AI does research. Then it analyzes competitors. Then it extracts patterns from those top performing content. Then it generates leads. Then you step in and refine it. And by combining all of those things together, now you have an AI agent that is helping you automatically run your workflows, which saves you so much time and so much money. So lesson 3, and this is probably one of the most important lessons, and that is that AI still needs a human taste filter. This is especially true in content marketing. AI can write, but it still doesn't know what feels authentic, what feels boring, what feels interesting. That is still your job. So the way I think about it is like this. Use AI to handle all of the heavy lifting, like research, drafting, organization, automations. But you, the human, still handles taste, direction, judgment. And this combination is incredibly powerful. Lesson 4, treat AI like a junior team member. Because sometimes it's brilliant and sometimes it gets things completely wrong. It still needs guidance, instructions, and clear boundaries. If you give it vague instructions, it will confidently generate you nonsense. If you can give it a clear structure, it can produce amazing work. Lesson 5, AI will completely change content marketing. Not because it replaces marketers, but because it completely changes the economics of content. Content used to be expensive to produce, but now production is super cheap. And it's gonna get even cheaper and more accessible. Which means that the real differentiation is gonna come from your ideas, your brand, your distribution, how well you understand your audience, your ideologies. The marketers who win in the AI era are the ones who are combining creative thinking with AI leverage. So the biggest lesson that I learned from all of this is pretty simple. AI works best when you stop trying to make it replace you and replace your thinking, and instead start using it to amplify what you're already good at. But the people who are going to get the most value out of using these AI tools are the ones who can combine human judgment with machine speed. But your judgment actually has to be good. Your judgment actually has to be the differentiator. It actually has to be creative, not something that AI can just generate. Anyways, these are just some of the biggest lessons that I've learned so far using AI, but I'm still experimenting with a lot of this stuff, especially around content systems and marketing workflows. So if you're interested in this kind of thing, AI, marketing, building products, that's probably what I'll be talking about on this channel. And if you got any value from this video, feel free to like it or subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.